Greetings, everybody. In this video, I'm going to walk through how you can use MCP on Salesforce in order to connect to an agentic client like Claude in your web browser. Now, I'm going to go through how you can set it up, how you can connect it, and I'm going to try to slow down when we get to various parts of jargon. For instance, let's start with our friend MCP. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. And it is basically a universal connector. It's a protocol that has been agreed upon by the big AI agents to be like a way to say, hey, I have these skills. I want to set them up in a server, and I want your client to be able to access them. And so Salesforce has various MCP servers now available. And so if you go into Setup, let's actually go to this list here first, and then if you search for MCP, you're going to see this, but you're going to go for this MCP servers list here. And now when you start, they're all going to be inactive. Now I filled out a lot of things in advance for the sake of brevity. But let me jump into the one we did actually activate. And so this is SObject-all. It's a very baseline read-write. You can access my records, you can access my schema, etc. Remember this URL here because it'll become important later. Now, we have our MCP server activated. What we need to do is be able to make it accessible to a client. And in order to do that, we're going to create an external client application. Now, if you're an old school person like me, you might be reflexively going back to connected apps. However, remember, we have sunsetted connected apps. You cannot currently create new connected apps. So if you go down that path, back up, go into your setup and look for external client. So from here, I've already created this, but let's walk through what has been filled out. I gave it a name. It filled out the API name. I gave it my contact information. And then we go into, by default, this will be unopened. Go ahead and click on OAuth settings, and then it will open it up for you. And I want to call out the callback URL. Now, the callback URL is going to be one part of the loop in order to make this process work. I'm using a callback URL that will work for the Claude web browser. You may have a different callback URL depending on the client that you're setting up. So you may have to look for the instructions there to see what it is for Claude Code or OpenAI, etc. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up the permissions. Now, OAuth, going back to trying to walk through jargon, OAuth is a protocol that allows a server and a client to agree that the client can perform actions as you from whatever abilities the server has. So, for a classic example is Facebook. If you want to play a custom game on Facebook, for instance, you're going to get that prompt that comes up and it says, "This game wants to have access to have these permissions in order to act as you, to use your Facebook user in the context of playing this game." And for Salesforce, what we need is two different scopes. One is the basic perform requests. This is what's going to allow it to basically say, hey, I need to access Salesforce as this user. And then we have accessing the MCP servers itself. So we have our callback, we have our scopes. And then what we're going to do is go down to security. By default, these two will be checked. Uncheck those. That's going to make it so that it's web browser flow friendly. And other clients may require that as well. Make sure that this is checked and then issue JSON Web Token. A JSON Web Token is, once again, just a very specific format so that we can predict how these tokens are going to be formed. Now go ahead and save and make sure that this is enabled. And from there, we can go over to Claude. Now in Claude, if you go to Customize, you're going to go to Connectors, and then you're going to say Add, and you're going to add a custom connector. And so this is the flip side. We have our external client application, and then I am going to go ahead and put in the information so that this can make the request to access that. Now remember, if we go back to our first tab, here, this is the server URL for our MCP server. So let's copy that. And then we're going to go into here. And then if you go to your client application and down to OAuth, you're going to see this. That will open up this tab. And this is my consumer key and my consumer secret. And these are basically highly unique strings that identify this handshake that we are trying to form. This is how I identify that the client knows that the right external client application is being called. So I'm going to copy that key and I'm going to put that into here, the client ID, and then I'm going to copy this key and put it into here. And you may have noticed it's a client ID. We can say consumer key every now and then. The terminology is a little different. Secret is almost always the same. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And it went ahead and connected for me because I've actually gone through this process a couple of times. What you're going to see in your flow is that Facebook style prompt that says, hey, are you going to allow these permissions? And if you don't see that, if you see an error message that says client ID is invalid, you might actually be okay. Every now and then, OAuth takes time to propagate, and the problem isn't that your client ID is not valid, it's that your client ID is not public yet. And so if you get that error, client ID valid, it's going to be a blank white page. It's going to say invalid ID. Just go take a quick break, get a coffee, get a snack, give it about 15 minutes on the safe side, and then go and try again. And you're going to get that little security prompt that says, do you want to allow this connection? When you allow that connection, then you're going to be here, and Claude is now connected to Salesforce. And I can ask it basic questions about my records. And you can tell it's looking through. It's going to say, hey, this is the skills, this is the tools that I need. Depending on if you've used them for the first time or not, it may ask for permission to be able to do that. And you can say do it one time, you can say allow access, but as you can see, my Claude can now talk to my Salesforce org. So I hope that was very informational for you, very helpful for you. And, go out there, and I would love to hear from people in the comments as to how they are using agents to work with Salesforce. Thanks again, everybody, and I will talk to you later.